Hello everyone and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to be showing you how I attach seagrass to the rim of a gourd. It's very easy to do. It's great for beginners and I'm not going to chit chat too much. We're just going to get right on to it. So let's get gourding. The materials I used for this gourd are twisted seagrass, size number 4, some wax thread. I used imitation sinew, but wax linen is also a good option. We'll need a needle with a blunt tip, scissors, and a container of water. For the holes, I drilled them a 1/2 inch apart and about a 1/4 inch from the rim, and it should look like this. So I think I want it to go around maybe 3 times, and that will make a nice top for this gourd. I'm just going to measure out by eye, just a little dry fit here. And then, so that's 3 times, but then a bit of an overlap just to make sure I have enough. Here is where I will cut it. And next, I am going to soak this in water for about 20 minutes. And soaking it in water will just make it a little bit more pliable and also help my stitches to be tighter. All right, so it's soaked and ready to go. I am just gonna take some of the dampness out with a towel and then snip off this little frayed edge to get started. And I want to cut it on an angle, like so. So first I'm just going to cut off a length of my sinew and just twist it a little bit to make a point on the end of the sinew. I pick a random hole to insert the sinew in for my first stitch. I usually choose somewhere on the side, and I'm going to pull it all the way through and then leave just a little bit of a tail, about 3 inches at the very end sticking out the front. And now I am simply going to tie my seagrass onto this first stitch. And I am just tying a double knot here. I think this would be considered a square knot. And because this is a waxed thread, I can pull that really good and tight, and it is not going to come loose. And now I'll just take the long end of the sinew and thread my needle. I'm going to go into the same hole that I tied the seagrass on first. That just gives it a little extra strength. And I am right-handed, so I'm going to start working on the next hole to the right. And oh, this is such a pain when it gets all tangled up. So you just have to kind of keep an eye on where all your materials are. So get that out of the way and pull that through for the second stitch. And actually what I'm going to do now is just go through that hole again. And this is going to create a V-stitch into each hole all the way around. That's going to make a nice strong attachment to the rim. So I just pull it nice and tight as I work my way around. Now the seagrass has these little bits that are sticking out here and there. So I can snip that off with a scissor, but actually I think I can get that woven in. So I'm just gonna kind of finagle that under the stitch and hold it tight and then pull my thread, and see that's going to hold it in there quite well. And here I only have a little bit of length of sinew left, so I am going to tie a new one on. So I remove the needle off the old thread and rethread it onto a new longer piece, and I am just going to stitch that through as if it were attached. And I'm just going to leave that little bit of a tail, and I'm going to tie that to the old length. So here I'm going to just do another knot, and I'm going to try to get that knot underneath, as close underneath of the seagrass as possible so that you can't see it when it's done. So I'm just going to do another overhand knot or a square knot. And pull that really, really tight underneath the seagrass. And you can see it's hidden pretty well under there. And now I've come to the point where I have worked all the way around and I am back to my first stitch. And there's a lot of frayed edge right there, so I'm just going to snip that off and continue layering my seagrass right over top of where I initially put that on. And then just continue my stitches as I have been doing. So you can see if I pull that nice and tight, that is going to hold that piece down. And then I just continue into the first hole. And then every stitch after that, I'm actually going to do a little bit differently. So instead of going into the holes, I'm going to take my needle and thread and direct that to the left side of, or the left stitch, but then underneath the first row of seagrass. And I'm only going to go in once. So let me do that again. It's on the left part of the V. I'm going to insert it under the initial seagrass and then pull it tight. And I'm only going once, so I'm not going to continue the V stitch. And now I'm on the third row and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to insert my needle in between now the first and second row. And just pull that nice and tight. Okay, so now I have 3 rows and I'm going to continue for a 4th row. But what I'm going to do is shape it a little bit differently as I go around. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to shape it so that it is laying on top of my 3rd row, and that's going to create a nice little ridge all the way around. And it's going to finish it off really nicely. As I work my way around on this row, I'm just keeping my finger on there to try to hold that seagrass exactly where I want it to be as I stitch it on. And any of these little pieces I have sticking out, I am just going to snip off. And we interrupt this program for your daily dose of super cute. This is my cat Mudgy, and she is hard at work making muffins. Okay, so now I am at the end, and I could snip this off and just kind of tuck it to the back and keep stitching. But what I'm going to do, because I like this frayed edge, I'm just going to untwist it a little bit more and then trim the ends where I want it to be, because I don't want it to be this long. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit and stitch it to where I want it to end. Okay, so this last little bit I want to secure towards the middle of this coil. So what I'm going to do is insert my needle in to the row below and then attach that there so that it's going a little bit lower and not ending on the top of the gourd. And to secure this last stitch, what I'm going to do is just slide my needle under one of the earlier threads that I had already stitched in, and I'm going to make a knot. So I just chose a a stitch to slide that under that was easy to get to, but also really close to that where that thread is coming out of. So I'm going to pull that through, but not completely. I'm going to leave a little loop and then tuck my needle in again and pull it through. And then I will pull in pretty tight. So to make it extra strong, what I'm going to do is just repeat the same process into the same stitch. And then I'm just going to take these long ends that were from when I added more sinew, and I'm going to just stitch them in, and then I'll just cut them with a scissor. And then I'm just going to give this a little haircut here because I don't want it quite so long, so I'm just going to snip that down a little bit too. And here's what it looks like all completed. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe because that helps my channel to grow, and especially if you could share with anybody that you think would be interested in gourd art videos, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. I just want to let you know that if you check the description box below, I will be leaving some links for some of these materials that I used in this video. I will not be receiving any commission for any of these. They're just there for your convenience. And also, I'm going to leave another link down below for a new a playlist. It's like a gourd course here on YouTube. It's totally free. But it's really just a playlist of some beginner gourd art, gourd crafting type videos that if you have not seen them yet, they might be helpful to you. So I think that's all. There might be some other links down there below too, but you can just check them out for yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, happy gourding.